Hello, good evening, and welcome to Camnet Television Main News. I'm Jeffrey Ziambo to present. Top stories in the news tonight. A lawmaker calls for stiff sanctions on erring police officers. Chilufya Tayali reminds President Hichilema to remove the oath of secrecy from the DPP. Zambia set to host the African Union Summit. In international news, more than 30 people die in stampede at Nigeria church food event. And in international news and sports news, Liverpool call for investigation into unacceptable issues faced by fans.
Special announcement. We regret to announce the postponement of the Love and Marriage Business Conference from the 28th May 2022 to a later date to be announced. We regret any inconveniences caused.
On Monday 30th May 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Anthony Waya, the presidential spokesperson.
If that's to be done. So we need to isolate legal debt from illegal debt. Insofar as the legal debt is concerned, we need to immediately place a moratorium on that. What that means is that we need to stop commercial borrowing, because this is what has put us in the problems that we're in now. So once we put a stop on commercial borrowing, it doesn't mean that Zambia will no longer require budgetary support from other people. We will. And this is what the European depiction is saying, that we need now to leverage our bilateral and multilateral relationships with the IMF, the World Bank, and other countries.
As they discuss Zambia's current affairs on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98, and Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello again, the news in detail. Some well-wishers have come to the aid of an 11-year-old girl of Lusaka's Mutandabantu compound in Kanyama constituency who was left paralyzed after suffering from a stroke. Miriam Kayemba reports that Ruth Chilanga, who is diagnosed with sickle cell, a condition that causes agonizing pain and created a risk of life-threatening complications for her, has received a wheelchair and assorted items from well-wishers from Lusaka and Kapirimposhi districts. This was after Ruth's story was aired a few days ago on Camnet television. More in this report.
On the 2nd of May 2022, Camnet TV published a story about an 11-year-old girl of Lusaka's Mutandabantu compound, Ruth Chilanga, who is diagnosed with sickle cell and was later struck by a stroke which has left her paralyzed. A well-wisher from Kapiri, who did not want to be named, has donated 500 kwacha toward a medication bill, while the Muslim Social Welfare Trusted have donated a wheelchair and some other items. Through Camnet TV, the family pleaded with well-wishers to assist them with a wheelchair to ease mobility for their daughter, Ruth. Mother to the girl, Grace Chilanga, says she is thankful for the inspiring and humbling support that her family has received.
Namvera bwino maningi chabe nakangwa nakulira orokunchite bwanji namvera chabe bwino ke mungana nilimbisa de yamayiro twani letera mwande wampi na wadona namvera bwino.
Mrs. Chilanga is hopeful that one day her child will get better.
Awe ni mwana wanga nina chikupira kuti mwana nzaka nkhala bwino. Ruth mwana wanga sembe kumutenga mulungu semba namtenga kudala. Manje kuzati mwana wanga mulungu amukonda afuna kamusebenzere paziko ya pansi pano.
For Ruth, having a wheelchair seems to be a huge relief for the family. However, looking at the harsh economy with a big family of 11, surviving on repairing bicycles cannot sustain the entire family's need.
Kubanantanzira kwa wheelchair na unga na salad na rice. Anabira chito manini nao. So manje vinasala hapa. Kani ya makwala ndiye mene itufuta manini kaili chitamene nisebenza sinikuwa nisira vonse kuti ningasonkere nyumba yeseva na pa nyumba na kumaskulu na odwala kugula makwala niyo odwala manini na kwala amene amafunika pedi mafunika makola ya 150 peke. Ndio maneno makola. Sio tumakangwa kuchite tukwanisile kwa sababu makola. Pede ni mapanga ko na kutaka business sometimes ni mapanga ujo fikite kwa cha so. Utavuta so chapo kapena 25.
Inside the shanty of Lusaka's Mutandabantu compound, located in Kanyama constituency, the Chilanga family are hopeful that their once vibrant and jovial 11-year-old daughter Ruth Chilanga, who is diagnosed with sickle cell, a condition that affects the red blood cells that carries oxygen around the body. And these cells form into sickle shape and can block blood vessels, causing anguish pain and creating a risk of life-threatening complications, will one day go back to school and achieve her dreams of becoming a soldier. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Patriotic Front Matero constituency Member of Parliament Miles Sampa says progress has been made towards addressing the challenges of water and sanitation in his constituency. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Sampa is confident that pending issues will finally be put to rest. He says the Constituency Development Fund CDF will go a long way in responding to most of the challenges affecting the people of Matero constituency. More in this report.
The Sustainable Development Goal number 6 in Zambia aims to achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all by 2030. It also seeks to achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all and open defecation, paying special attention to the needs of women and girls and those in vulnerable situations. Lusaka's Matero constituency is amongst the communities that are affected by the problem of water and sanitation.
Kahiu kati smart ganzira kwebini kumchinga police manzi siyafika ekafika 05 kwenda 14.
It's just next to us. And schools open on Monday, and as you can see here, kids grade 1s are supposed to be passing through this water going to class.
Now, under the Community Development Funds, Matero Member of Parliament Miles Sampa has disclosed plans to improve the water systems in his area.
The challenge has been there for a while and progress is being made. When I left as mayor, we had already left a program in place for Matero. As you've seen, there's a Chinese company there putting new pipes because the pipes were rotten. They were from colonial days. So we're putting new pipes both for water and for sewerage. What's important is to ensure that the other complaint is the contractors are leaving the trenches uncovered. So I've been speaking to them and we'll see some improvement.
Mr. Sampa discloses that local contractors will be used in the process.
It's been a problem indeed. Let's start with ourselves, all residents of Matero. Ensure that you don't throw the garbage anywhere. But other than that also, we will try to see if we can partner with the council under CDF and see if we can get a local company, and I'm encouraging youths to set up something to do with garbage. There's money in garbage to be made. I think residents pay something like 20 kwacha in markets and elsewhere. So that's another proposal you can put in the CDF, and as MP I'll support.
By 2030, Zambia seeks to improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating dumping and minimizing release of hazardous chemicals and materials. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Police in Lusaka have recorded a report of assault on a child, Ethel Muchindo, aged 11, of Jack Compound, who was allegedly assaulted by her biological mother, identified as Rontia Chisaka, aged 33. In a statement available to Camnet News, Deputy Police Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale reveals that the incident occurred on May 27, 2022 at around 20 hours in Jack Compound in Kabwata constituency. Mr. Mwale says that a cooking stick is believed to have been used to inflict the injury, by which the victim sustained a deep cut on the forehead. Police have since launched a manhunt for the suspect, who is on the run while the child is recovering after receiving treatment at Chawama Level 1 Hospital. Katumbola constituency Member of Parliament Clement Andeleki has underscored the need to undertake police patrols in order to bring sanity. And Mr. Andeleki has challenged the Zambia Police High Command to increase sanctions against erring police officers in order to instill discipline. He further stated that the country must undertake police reforms in order to bring sanity. He says the conduct of the Zambia police in the build-up to the August 12 general elections cannot be ignored. Patrick Soko reports.
Zambia police comprise of hard-working men and women who give their best to save the community by upholding their mandate to protect life and property and enforce the law against all forms of crime and disorder in order to maintain peace. But just like any other sector, it must be noted that there are some bad elements that have brought the reputation of the institution into shame. For instance, alcohol abuse among police officers has seen the integrity of the service being questioned. Authorities are aware of these matters, and earlier this year, an assurance to keep the vice was issued.
This nonsense of going to the office with beer is coming to an end. The new Dawn government would want to see officers who are well behaved. When I'm employed as a police officer, I know that I'm not supposed to ask for a tip from a person who comes to complain. And that will not allow it. From today, the police must learn that the commission has been appointed. The first thing we are going to do is to discipline and indisciplined officers. Those that come on duty drunk.
United Party for National Development, UPND, Katombola Constituency Member of Parliament, Clement Andeleki, has challenged the police high command to improve sanctions against erring police officers.
The biggest problem that we are having now in the police is the issue of discipline. The high command will do well to revisit and improve sanctions for erring officers. As you are aware, the standing orders of the police, 4 standing orders, are very outdated pieces of legislation. The maximum penalty an officer under discipline can face is deduction of half of his pay. The Inspector General of Police has no power to dismiss anybody in this country, even if he constituted a tribunal. Unless somebody has been convicted, and so it's quite problematic. We also need institutional reforms there to ensure that the training for our police officers are tied to the realities of the day on human rights, on issues of corruption, on issues of governance. I think they'll do well.
Up to the August 12, 2021 general election, police were also caught up in extrajudicial killings, including the issue involving Sam Achipyoka and Joseph Kaunda, at a time when President Hakainde Hichilema, as an opposition leader, was appearing before the police for questioning, a matter which remains in court. And Mr. Andeleki has underscored the need to undertake police reforms in order to bring sanity.
You are aware that currently we are still mourning our brothers and sisters who were gruesomely murdered under the previous government. The death of Nsama, Kaunda, the manner of handling of our people goes to the root on the aspect of discipline, on the aspect of reform in the police. These are issues we cannot gloss over. The conduct of the police leading to the elections last year, together with their barbaric law called Public Order Act, cannot be left unchecked. It is very sad that we could lose lives in such a manner. And the people who were presiding on the helm, or were on the helm of authority, Honorable Kamchongo and his team, managed to acquire very serious arsenal against the Zambian people. Never in the history of this country should things like that happen.
Understand that police have been improving the curriculum for training of police officers, but more still needs to be done. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali has reminded President Hakainde Hichilema to remove the oath of secrecy from the Director of Public Prosecution Lilian Siyuni so that she can defend herself from the public backlash that she has continued to be subjected to. In an interview with Camnet TV News, Mr. Tayali says that he feels Ms. Siyuni has not done anything unconstitutional.
You know, it is really unfair, because as it is, the DPP has not done anything that we can clearly point out to say she has done something wrong. And yet she has been accused, prosecuted, and convicted in the public by the president, by the justice minister, and also by the solicitor general and everybody else. They are accusing her of things that they initiated themselves. And at this point in time, the best that they can do, since they have accused her and they have said she has done this wrong, it is only right that we hear from her. But she cannot talk to the media. She cannot come out the way they have been talking themselves as politicians. For her, she's barred by the oath of secrecy. So what we are asking is that since they have spoken, they have accused her, let us hear the other side. It is only fair that, the rules of natural justice demands that you hear from both sides. We have heard from them. Can we hear from her? Can they say, can the president remove the oath of secrecy on her to say, I want you to tell the people what you did or why you gave immunity to Milingo? Let her talk. I know some people will say, no, but she's going to the JCC. JCC, the hearings there are in camera. So we would have no privilege of knowing what really transpired.
Opposition political parties have reminded the United Party for National Development UPND government to focus on empowering Zambians in the mining sector beyond just the Black Mountain. Patriotic Front member Chishimba Kambwili says the government should consider taxing the mines more in order to spend the proceeds from the sector on subsidizing citizens. And Leadership Movement President Dr. Richard Silumbe says if Zambia is to benefit from the booming electric vehicle industry, there is a need to take a citizens-led approach and utilize the Zambia National Service to be running the mines. Patrick Soko reports.
According to the Africa Development Bank projection, Zambia's economy is projected to grow by 2.0% in 2022, underpinned by recovery in the mining, tourism and manufacturing sectors. Recovery in international demand and copper prices are positive developments, while a reduction in COVID-19 cases will boost activity in both manufacturing and tourism. Zambia has not benefited from foreign direct investments from the mines, as the sector is not contributing to the development of backward and forward linkages through the mining supply chain. And opposition leaders in the country have been urging the government to stop giving tax incentives to the mining sector at the expense of subsidizing citizens.
We're not even collecting the taxes that we are supposed. And then you say, we don't have the money to subsidize the fuel. You have the money, go and collect mineral royalty from the mining industry and subsidize the poor people. Why should you subsidize mining companies? Why should you subsidize mining companies and then overtax your own people? People are suffering. The hallmark of leadership is to provide an enabling environment where the people, the citizens, the poor people can have a better life. But what is happening now is that mining companies are minting profits, making money.
Meanwhile, Leadership Movement President Dr. Richard Silumbe says Zambians must be empowered beyond the Black Mountain.
We do not need to depend only on foreigners for us to run the mines. I can give you examples of how the mining sector has been so open, anybody can do it, and yet we are not doing it as Zambians. We have seen how the Chinese come into this country, they get into Chongwe, for instance, without any money, without any machinery. A Chinese person would come, accesses a small piece of land in Chongwe, gets a few villagers who are barefoot, they start digging with picks and shovels. They find copper, they find gold. Within 1 month, they sell those minerals, they become billionaires, and that makeshift mine becomes a bona fide mine.
He says they will soon embark on a project to build capacity among small-scale miners on the copper belt to help Zambians realize their value and contribution to the country's national development.
Participate in the copper boom because we are transforming from fossil vehicles that run fossil fuel to electrical vehicles. And in electric cars, much of the component needed is copper wires, so that we can produce the motors and the generators and so on and so forth. So copper should be part of the world market that would be in very much demand. Now, if we let our copper to be explored and benefited by foreigners, as we are doing it now, running to foreign investors, we are going to miss a chance in a generation or 2 generations to come where Zambia can become a powerhouse, a copper powerhouse, and benefit from the resources coming out from copper generation.
At the moment, the Minister of Finance is receiving submissions towards the formulation of the 2023 national budget. One only hopes stakeholders will make recommendations on how they want the mines to contribute a fair share of taxes to the treasury. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
And National Union of Miners and Allied Workers NUMAO President James Chansa has underscored the need to make Mopani and Konkola copper mines more viable if Zambia is to meet the aspirations of producing 3 million metric tons of copper production per annum in the next 10 years. Mr. Chansa says there is an urgent need to invest in the Konkola copper mine to increase the mining production output in the country. He has since appealed to the government to quickly find a lasting solution, even if it means giving Vedanta another chance of operating the mine.
The situation at KCM is very pathetic, and it requires the presence of an investor without wasting time. And especially if you look at Zambia being a mining economy, and for sure we depend on the mining activities. If I'm to address this issue from the economic point of view, the Republican President, His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, made it very clear that Zambia's vision, in as far as mining is concerned, is to achieve 3 million metric tons of copper per annum in the next 10 years. And to achieve this, definitely, you need the presence of KCM and, of course, other mines which are limping like Mopani. And this is why we must quickly look at investing at KCM. The other issue is that the community and the workers, including other key stakeholders in KCM, are facing hard life because of the dormancy that we have seen at KCM. This is why, again, I appeal to government to quickly find a lasting solution. Now, where we are currently, Vedanta is the only company that has put conditions on the table for consideration. Let us look at that and perhaps give them a chance unless there is any alternative that we can use.
President Hakainde Hichilema has stated that Zambia has adequately prepared and is ready to host the 4th African Union Mid-Year Coordinating Summit in Lusaka from the 14th to the 17th of July 2022. And President Hichilema says Zambia firmly believes in the democratic dispensation of governance through holding periodic elections in accordance with the Constitution. In a speech read on his behalf by Home Affairs Minister Jack Mwimbo during the 16th Extraordinary Session of Assembly of the African Union on Terrorism and Unconstitutional Changes of Government in Africa in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, the President said the Zambian government is based on the consent of the governed, stating that the people are the highest form of political authority. President Hichilema said Zambia has established the National Anti-Terrorism Center under an Act of Parliament which provided for the prevention and prohibition of carrying out terrorism financing and proliferation activities. This is according to a statement issued by Inutu Mwanza, the First Secretary for Press and Tourism at the Zambian Embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Elijah Muchima, has underscored the need for improved land administration and management in the country for the benefit of the general citizenry. Mr. Muchima has expressed concern that the land administration in the recent past has been characterized by inefficiency and corruption, thereby disadvantaging Zambians. More in this report.
Zambia is endowed with considerably environmental assets, including a 75 million hectares size of land. According to the 2016 UNDP annual report, The least productive land in Zambia is held under customary tenure by small farmers, while the most productive land is leased for commercial farms, mining operations, and urban and tourism developments, which largely is advanced by foreign-based companies and individuals. Stakeholders have for a long time raised concerns on the inability by Zambian people to own land as their own resource, attributing this to inefficiency, corruption, and poor land management. Some of the provisions in the current constitution is the equitable access to land and associated resources and investments in the land to also benefit local communities and their economy. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Elijah Mchima has expressed concern that the land administration in the recent past has been characterized with inefficiency and corruption, thereby leaving the Zambian people at loss of their own resource.
They're just blinding us, Zambians. They're just blinding us. Wait, let's wake up. Let's wake up. The population now is 18 million. 10 years to come, it will be, if you're not mistaken, closer to 30 million. Be careful. Don't be slaves to money. Be slaves to integrity, objectivity, and respect. Kaunda said, humanism, a human being is the center, is the respect. And this land is our land from God. We should die with our land.
Mr. Mchima has since assured that his ministry is doing everything possible to change the narrative.
This is just creation of a market of their fellow people who have got money elsewhere. Let's not be subjected to slavery because of money. We have been in colonial time. We have been with ancestors. Money is just helping us just to enhance. It's not key to life. What is key to life is land, where there is water, where there are trees, where there are finkubala, karembula, cassava. Don't make life as if it's dependent on investment. No. Maybe in towns because people can't cultivate. We don't run our own life, but we need respect. This land is not for us just to give it for free. It's there to be rewarded. If there are taxes, they came in, they were asking for tax concessions, tax relief. Why were they asking for that?
The minister has since embarked on the migration from the use of the Zambia Integrating Land Management System, ZILMIS, to Zambia Integrated Land Administration System, ZILAS, by June 2022, that will ease the land management processes. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, in Lusaka.
This is Camnet Television Main News. We'll take our first commercial break. We'll be back with more news after this break.
We take risks every day, with some big things and some little things. Other risks are out of our control. But no matter what's important in your life, Savenda Insurance has got you covered. Whether it's investments or the people you love, you shouldn't have to worry about securing the future. Let us handle that. Since 2014, we have helped Zambians protect their health and personal property, offering peace of mind and fostering progress and development. Taking risks is what makes us grow. Insurance is what keeps us going strong.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry. There's so much data.
Mom.
Yes, baby.
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Special announcement. We regret to announce the postponement of the Love and Marriage Business Conference from the 28th May 2022 to a later date to be announced. We regret any inconveniences caused.
Only to find I'm rested.
On Monday 30th May 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chilufya as he hosts Anthony Walia, the presidential spokesperson.
If that to be done. So we need to isolate legal debt from illegal debt. Insofar as the legal debt is concerned, we need to immediately place a moratorium on that. What that means is that we need to stop commercial borrowing, because this is what has put us in the problems that we're in now. So once we've put a stop on commercial borrowing, it doesn't mean that Zambia will no longer require budgetary support from multilateral relationships, the IMF, the World Bank, and other countries.
As they discuss Zambia's current affairs on DSTV channel 274.
Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Governance activist Isaac Mwanza has accused the Chief Justice of failing to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary by continuing to allow what he terms as unnecessary transfers of judicial officers and judges handling cases. Mr. Mwanza was commenting on the recent decision by the Judicial Service Commission JSC to transfer 10 magistrates to different provinces. He believes the gesture contradicts the Constitution.
The position is that under the Constitution, yes, there is no power for the Judicial Service Commission to transfer the magistrates and the judges. Mm-hmm. But there is also a law which is inferior to the Constitution, the Service Commissions Act. Mm-hmm. This act allows the Judicial Service Commission to transfer the magistrates and the judges. What the argument is which one is supreme? Is it the Act of Parliament or the Constitution? Because the Constitution grants the independence of the judiciary. The judiciary comprises of the courts, all the courts, the subordinate court, the local court, the high court, and all the higher courts. So in short, what we are saying is that whilst the inferior law, which is the Civil Service Act, gives them power to transfer the magistrates, the Constitution does not give them power to transfer the magistrates. And as such, provision in the inferior law is actually in breach of the Constitution. It contravenes the Constitution because it compromises the independence of the judiciary.
The Secondary Schools Teachers Union of Zambia, SESTU's General Secretary, Sitibekiso Wamuyua, has expressed happiness over the transparency exhibited in the teacher recruitment by the Ministry of Education. On May 18, 2022, government disclosed that the 30,000 teachers being recruited are expected to start working by July 2022. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Wamuyua notes that this year's teacher recruitment exercise has seen the participation of teacher unions, saying it is a demonstration that government wants the process to be transparent.
On the process of the recruitment of 30,000 teachers, the system has proven to be fairly transparent. The level of transparency we have seen from the time the adverts came out makes us have confidence that we are going to have a credible outcome, because the level of participation by stakeholders has been expanded. The teacher unions have participated in this process, even at the grassroots level, where the real selection is taking place at the district level. Teacher unions sit on those committees that do the selection. So we cannot say we have been left out. We are part of the process, and so far we are happy with what we have done together as stakeholders. You see, the beauty about the process of selection, especially with the Teaching Service Commission, that they have fully implemented the decentralization process
The Alliance for Accountability Advocates Zambia has challenged the ward councillors to intensify the sensitization on the implementation of the Constituency Development Fund in order to realize effective citizen participation. In an interview with Camnet News, the organization programs officer Mark Ngoma notes that more people, especially the youths in rural areas, lack information on how to take part in the affairs of the CDF. He has since called for collaboration among stakeholders towards making sure of realizing the prospects of the CDF.
Resources to the lower levels of governance. So the question is, how prepared are the young people with regards to accessing the resources? But we're not only looking at it from the point of access, we're also looking at it from the point of planning the utilization, monitoring the implementation of the resources, and of course looking at it in terms of the impact. Let the young people be able to evaluate the impact that CDF is bringing. But besides this, the key idea here is we need to increase information accessibility on Constituency Development Fund. And the government has the onus of doing this. They need to take a step back. As much as the resources are needed in the community, we need to ensure that they're going to be used prudently so that we can really benefit from what CDF has to offer. Because CDF as it is today, it can really offset a lot of socio-economic woes that many community members are facing.
This is Camnet Television Main News. We'll take another break. We'll be back with international and sports news.
Your skin is the biggest muscle. We make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum Products for that perfect skin.
We take risks every day, with some big things and some little things. Other risks are out of our control. But no matter what's important in your